Some relief tells you something true about your life. Some relief just tells you that you are tired. Let's learn the difference. The text comes in. I'm so sorry. Can we do next week instead? And before you can decide how to feel about it, your body has already answered. Everything in you goes loose. It's not relief exactly. It's more like air. Like something that was pressing on your chest just lifted off, and you can breathe properly for the first time all day. And then, about 4 seconds later, the second feeling arrives. Guilt. Because you wanted to go. You genuinely did. You'd been looking forward to it for a week. So, what exactly just happened in you? And what does it say about you that the best part of the evening was it being canceled? The usual story is that you didn't really want to go, that you're antisocial or avoidant, or that you've been quietly lying to everyone, including yourself. And there's a harsher version people run on themselves, that they're a flake and that eventually everyone will notice. Here's what almost nobody says out loud. You can want something and be relieved not to do it, and both of those can be completely honest at the same time. They aren't in competition. They're answers to two different questions. So, by the end of this, you'll know what your yes was actually promising, why the relief shows up so fast it beats your opinion to the door, and how to read it, because it is telling you something, just not the thing you're afraid of. Here's what's actually happening. When you said yes, you weren't agreeing to the evening. You were agreeing to an idea of the evening. And the idea was accurate. The people are good, the food is good, you like this. What the idea didn't include was the day it would be attached to. It didn't include the meeting that ran long, or the thing that's been sitting unresolved since Tuesday, or the fact that by 6 o'clock you'd have nothing conversational left in you. Nobody pictures that part. When you imagine Saturday, you imagine Saturday, not the week that has to happen first. And here's the first. Oh, that's why. The yes and the going were made by two different people in two different conditions, and only one of them had to pay. There's a name for the specific mistake, and it's kinder than it sounds. Psychologists call it focalism. When we picture a future event, we focus almost entirely on the event itself and badly underestimate how much everything else will be going on around it. In the studies, it's usually about predicting feelings, how happy or how devastated something will make you. But the shape of it is exactly what happens to your Thursday. You put the dinner in your calendar as though the dinner were the only thing in it. Not the day it's sitting inside, not the 3 conversations before it. So when the day arrives and you're running on whatever's left, it isn't that you changed your mind. Nothing changed its mind. The estimate was just made without the context, because the context hadn't happened yet. And I want to be careful here, because this is where it would be easy to oversell you something. The research is about forecasting emotion, not about budgeting energy. I'm borrowing the shape, not claiming the study says you're Thursday, but the shape fits so well it's worth having the word for it. Now, the part that actually matters, because relief is information and it's worth reading properly. Not all cancellation relief is the same, and lumping it together is how people end up making bad decisions about their friendships. Sometimes the relief is about the load. You'd have gone happily on a different day, and what lifted was the day, not the people. Sometimes it's about the format. The group's too big, or it's the kind of place where you have to perform being fine. Sometimes it's about the open-endedness. No end time, no way to leave, and some part of you has been quietly dreading being stuck. And occasionally, not often, but occasionally, it really is the person. And the relief is telling you something you've been declining to hear for a while. Those are 4 different messages. They feel identical in the body. So the mistake isn't feeling relieved. The mistake is reading one sentence and assuming you know the whole letter. So here's the one small thing worth holding on to. Not a rule about how often you're allowed to cancel. Next time a plan lifts and you feel that air come into your chest before the guilt arrives and takes over the whole conversation, ask one question. What exactly got lighter? Not, am I a bad friend? Just, which part of it did I put down? The drive, the group size, the not knowing when I could leave, the having to be the version of me that's doing well. Because if you can name the part, you can usually keep the person. You can say yes to lunch instead of dinner, or to 2 hours instead of an evening, or to the one friend instead of the 9. That's not avoidance. That's the difference between protecting your energy and quietly withdrawing from your life. And almost nobody teaches you where that line is. You wanted to go. You were also at the end of yourself. Both of those were true, and neither of them makes you a liar. 2 small things before we land this. If this names something you felt and then immediately felt bad about, alike is how the next person, mid-guilt, finds it too. And subscribing means the next one of these finds its way back to you. And if you know exactly which part got lighter for you, the drive, the group, the not knowing when you could leave, I'd genuinely like to hear it. And if you want to go a little deeper, I made a little guide for this one. The 5 questions you might be too afraid to ask out loud about canceling, answered honestly, with the research behind them. It's free, linked right below, and it's also how you find your way into love notes, little letters for people who feel this kind of thing softly. You're allowed to want someone's company and not have any left to give that day. Those were never the same question. I'll see you next time.